So for years, I had been bothering repeatedly my friend Ernie Bray to come up with a muzzle device that was mostly designed specifically for doing entry work. I was still working on a SWAT team, and I really wanted something that diverted the blast with enough flash mitigation that it didn't turn into a ball of fire out the front, especially on a 14.5-inch or shorter 5.56. I really didn't care as much about having huge recoil mitigation, but what I wanted was the blast to not affect me as a shooter and not affect anybody who's next to me. And that's what's so critical when you're fighting in a very, very close environment. And this VF-18 does exactly that. And this is the latest generation of this device. It's gone through a few changes. But what this really does is it sends the blast forward in a cone, so you get very little or no blast either below you, above you, or to the side. So you can actually shoot this next to someone, and while it's still loud, there's no muzzle blast and there's no concussive effect. And that's what is really, really becoming damaging to people who do this in a shoot house environment or an interior environment, especially if you don't necessarily have hearing protection, which is often the case in law enforcement. So you get no blast at you as a shooter, so there's no distraction while you're shooting. You get no blast at anybody who's standing next to you or in close proximity. Most of the blast goes forward. The biggest difference is that you also have no muzzle movement. So this doesn't push your muzzle up, down, left, or right. It's muzzle neutral. And especially in an entry environment, I want the muzzle to go where I point it. I don't want anything affecting that. And it has roughly the same flash mitigation as an A2 flash hider. So it's like running an A2 flash hider, which is what most agencies still run, but yet you get no blast at yourself, you get no blast at anybody in your team environment, and you get enough flash mitigation that it is neither a distraction or easy to pick up. So this is precisely the situation I was asking for a solution to. Is in a tactical environment, you're running at least 2 people in a room, maybe more. If the fight starts, you're doing your best to make sure that your muzzle's not in close proximity to your partner, but sometimes it has to be. And if you do that with a muzzle brake or even a flash hider, you can cause some pretty serious damage. Since this is sending all the blast forward and none of it to the side, you can shoot. And it's obviously loud. It's as loud as any muzzle device is going to be. It's just that there's no blast pressure to the side. Yeah, you can see hair's not moving, no distraction whatsoever. It actually does this just about as well as any device will do short of a suppressor.